Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today, it's going to be a match between Horang2 and Light here on Tenuous Sylphid. But a recent replay for y'all sent to me by RJBTV. If you don't know who he is, go ahead and search RJBTV in your YouTube machine. He casts Brood War just like I do. He likes fastest map, and I think that's all he casts at this point, but top side of the map here, we have the Protoss player. He is brown, and he is Horang2. And in the bottom right, we got ourselves our purple Terran. It is Light. Oh, Light. He is definitely some people's favorite Terran player, possibly the best Terran player on Earth, assuming Flash is struggling mightily with his carpal tunnel syndrome, as he has been rumored to be struggling with. That's going to be a problem for him, I feel like. Which is sad, because Flash is the best Protoss. Best Brood War player of all time. I was looking at a probe, okay? Hello, Mr. Probe. Scouting the correct direction this morning. Are we? Yes, yes you are. Hooray! So it's a PvT. Haven't cast one of these in a little bit, so I figured we'd throw one up here for your Monday cast. Again, I'm Falcon Paladin. If you haven't met me, I cast Brood War and post it every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And on Sunday, we have live streams of people sending me replays to cast, their own community replays. I also like to mix in some professional replays, some shorter mid-level-ish ones that aren't quite cheese and not quite enough for their own cast. Ooh, a gas steal from Horang2. I like it. He gets it early enough to get a quick gas steal and harass the SCV building this barracks. How very annoying could you possibly be, Mr. Probe? Honestly, though. I don't even. So annoying. I don't think Light's going to lose anything to this, though. I'd be shocked if an SCV died. There's just no reason for it. On the other side, Gateway coming up here from the Protoss. Gas steal does finish, because, I mean, there's not really a reason to gas steal for a little bit at this stage of the game, because the Terran doesn't care. You need to actually get the assimilator up. Man, this is actually some pretty intense harassment. Yeah, so if you ever watch a Horang2 game on YouTube, a lot of the comments will kind of talk about how consistent he is. He doesn't care who he's playing against. He doesn't seem to get nerves when he's going up against incredibly good players like Light, for example. He's an amazing Protoss player himself, but he just seems to do the same style no matter who he's up against, and it seems to work. So we'll see how this goes for him in our PvT. Talk a lot about how you beat a Terran in a Protoss versus Terran match. You got to expand a whole bunch. You got to trade Dragoons for tanks. Those are good trades for you. And basically out-expand your Terran guy into the ground and out-Zerg him is the general concept. Command Center coming up. Is this the same probe? I don't know. I'm not sure if this is the same probe or not. But look at this. Another SCV gets pulled off the line. Great scout. Next is coming in. If you're a Terran player, what you want to do is keep your tanks alive. Like, if you can just kind of sit back and keep your tanks alive, easier said than done, no doubt. But if you can do that and get up a huge tank count, like 20, 30 siege tanks, and just kind of roll across the map, you're going to have an okay time with it in your PvT. It's a little bit more simplistic than what Protoss has to do. That said, if you ask somebody, I don't know, like Artosis, they would say that Protoss is super overpowered in this matchup. And that might just be because they know how to play it. I mean, I don't know. It's easier to expand a bunch against Terran. It can be hard for a Terran to punish that, right? If they're going mech, it's slow to ramp up. You don't have a lot of resources. You can go for early attacks, right? Look at this. I don't know if this is an attack necessarily or just an attempt to get rid of this Zealot. Ooh, it's another Zealot. Really? Double Zealots here. I don't know, but us is okay. Are we going to kill enough Marines that this is worth it? That's another dead Marine. Okay, 2 kills on him, 1 kill on him. The bunker finishes, and now the Marines need to skirt past these dudes and get inside that bunker real fast. At the same time, you don't want the Zealots to run into the main either. That would be bad. And SCVs are trying to finish off this guy. Oh my gosh, this is insanely good. Dude, RJB does not send me bad replays, in all fairness. Okay, so he gets killed by an SCV, which sucks. This guy gets his second kill. I'd be shocked if he gets a third one. I really would. It's just, there's SCVs here buffering. There's another Zealot. What arrived? Oh my gosh, he got... No, he didn't. Okay, just the 2. Another Zealot arrives. He just just a magnet for these poor Marines. Look at the jukes, though. Look at the jukes from Light. He's like, I'm not going to let you... Never mind. I'm going to let you walk right up to me and two-shot me. I mean, it's 3-shot, but the first 2 shots... last 2 shots were in close succession. This is nuts. I love this. I love this Zealot stuff. We have seen this in the past. It's not very common in the longer macro games that I like to cast. It's another dead Marine. Oh, simultaneous kill. Or did the SCV get that kill? SCV got that kill, I think. Nice. Okay, so that was a lot of money sunk into Zealots. And did they get enough stuff done? Well, let's see. It's 38 to 27 total supply. It's 30 probes to 24 SCVs. That is just a lot of lost mining time. A couple SCVs got straight up killed by Zealots there. And yes, it means your Dragoon production is late. First Dragoon coming out at 540 is definitely not on time for a standard macro game. Actually, never mind. He already has a Dragoon down here. Just kidding! Dragoons are still late, but not that late. Yeah, I mean, right now, honestly, either... There you go. I guess you can go for the harassment, or you can go for a quick third. Not a bad place for a third base on this map. Having some high ground against Terran is never bad. And this is high ground. You got ramps to defend here and ramps to defend here on Neo Sylphid. This is a fairly popular map. It's in the current map pool rotation, and therefore it is very popular. Actually, did it get moved? I don't know if it got moved or not. But it was in the map pool rotation for a pretty long time. And I think people enjoyed it, because a lot of the games that I cast from that recent map pool are on this one, and if people were vetoing it, then it wouldn't be showing up in replays that I cast, right? Right. Yeah, we're Reaver dropping. Okay, who needs a third base when you can Reaver drop Light into possibly Oblivion? And we'll take a third base at the same time. How's that action for ya? Eh? Not too shabby. Vulture speed, first upgrade coming in. The tanks can handle small numbers of Dragoons. And actually making a Wraith, which I'm a huge fan of. If you have even an inkling your opponent is going to be doing shuttle shenanigans on you, a Wraith is worth its weight in gold. Absolute gold. Alright, so here's our Reaver play with 2 Zealots. By the way, if you skipped over my PvP that I posted on Saturday because you're like, I don't like PvP and I don't know these players, I understand, but there is, honestly, some of the best Reaver play I have seen ever in my life in that match. It is incredible. There's Dark Templar. Like, go back and watch it, please. It's insanely good. It's the most recent Brood War. It's the most recent cast on this channel. Yeah, I don't know about this. Working super well. I mean, the shuttle's dead and the Reaver's dead, so... Yeah, that was... I mean, Light handled that like the pro that he is. Like the absolute boss that he is. I mean, a lot was invested into that, too. Reavers are not cheap, man. Reavers are a lot of gas. And if you just lose one, I don't think you got a kill. You're going to have a bad time. So one of the things I like about having real-time lighting on is Dragoon shots are so bright and flashy. Look at them. Look at them being flashy. Explosions are good. Oh, the spider mine hit, though. 2 Dragoons going down. So yeah, another thing you can do as a Terran in a Terran versus Protoss is try to burrow spider mines in the general area of Dragoons and kill them. If the Dragoon count is not heavy, then you're going to have a better time with your game. It's Dragoons are the backbone for Protoss, and tanks are the backbone for Terran in this matchup. They are, and they always have been. Third base coming up here from Light fairly aggressively, but he feels like, okay, I've got the Protoss on the back foot. He's defending a lot. I killed a couple of his guys, his Dragoons. He doesn't want to move out, right? I don't feel like he wants to move out. Let's keep that pressure going with our purple Vulture bike pilots with their super cool purple full-body suits. Throwing down them spider mines. Guess what? There's an observer now, though. That's what's nice about having an early robo, is that you can get observatory down pretty quickly. And then you have an observer in your army. So, yeah, third base, I don't know, man. Is it aggressive? I feel like Light's going to get away with it. I just do. Stargate on the way, and a Templar Archive. So we're just going to go 3-base Arbiter. Nothing too crazy here out of Horang. He's been really aggressive. But I think after that Reaver died, he might have lost all of his heart a little bit there. I don't know. Do you think he was overly discouraged? Maybe he was. Turnabout is fair play, says Light. We're going to drop a dropship right in your face. How do you like them apples? You're probably just defending the heck out of your front door, which is true. But there's also a cannon and a Dragoon over here. This Dragoon is patrolling, waiting for something to happen. The dropship says we could probably handle one Dragoon? I don't know. How do we do this? We fly down. Oh my gosh, there's 3 Dragoons now. Get your spider mines laid, vulture friends, and then run for it. Cheese it. The cops are on us. The target firing, probes. Getting the probes on gas is always very nice, but man, 2 of the vultures die. This guy hiding in a corner in fear. What'll I do, Commander? They're after me. I don't know why it made him sound like a teenage boy. I mean, they sound like, what do you want? More than anything else. Commander, I'm trapped. What do I do? The commander says, you die like a good soldier. 4th base for the Protoss. Not surprised at all. Tank count getting a little bit scary. Additional factories in production back home for Das Light. Spider Mine's getting cleared out in the middle of the map. Nothing too crazy there either. So I don't know, where are we? 139 and 95 total supply. Horang2 doing a pretty good job with the macro, I would say. Pretty fantastic. 68 to 62 workers is great. Having that 3rd base up fast, having the constant probe production in the early game while Light was pulling SCVs off the line is a nice advantage to have too. But yeah, Templar Archives complete. That's the sound that Templar Archives makes if you click on it. It's hard to reproduce. It's very robotic. Again, a lot of the Protoss stuff is robotic. It's just the nature of what they are. So yeah, doesn't seem like anything out of the ordinary here for Light. Nothing he hasn't done probably 100,000 times before. I mean, really, how many times do you think he's done this? TVP, open up million factories, get upgrades for mech units, make mech units, control, defend, turtle, and then when you're big and scary, move out and everybody dies. This Wraith, I'm telling you, inspired. Inspired choice. This is an important time for Horang2. If he can't get in here and whittle down some of these siege tanks, the trick here, again, is forcing an engagement that you feel uncomfortable with because you're going to lose a lot of stuff. Now, do you want to run in here, lose everything, and not kill a single tank? No. Do you want to run in here, lose everything, and kill 2 tanks? No. You probably want to try to kill at least 4 or 5, I would say, because, again, it's all about whittling the tank count down, not wiping it out, but also making bad trades. You have to make the bad trades because you're out expanding the Terran. See this? That's what I like to call a 5th base at 13 minutes. Exactamundo. Ooh, is Light setting up to take this one? This is a pretty good base to take. Maybe this one, also a pretty good base to take. He has some options. Look at this SCV. You can't see me. I'm hiding in the shadows. Wow, that Zealot made a beeline for that guy. But in the meantime, this is exactly what I'm saying. You got to go for it. You got to get in there with your Dragoons and your Zealots, and you're going to lose a lot of stuff, and you're probably not going to get all the way through this tank line. But there you go. Whittling down that tank count, killing several of them, having some Dragoons left over is also not terrible. Ta-da! Excellent, excellent work. We have an Arbiter in production now from Horang2. I don't know what the 2 is for Horang. Like, what is it? You guys know? EMP on the way. The cloaking sound is one of my most nostalgic sounds in all of StarCraft. Gosh, just my favorite. It's so simple. But the sound design for this game is just brilliantly simple. It is. And the way the lighting kind of shades off them as the Arbiter moves out. This probably was one of the more difficult visual assignments for whoever was in charge of this for Brood War, right? Or for StarCraft, because Arbiters were in StarCraft 1. Like, alright, so they're going to cloak, but they're not invisible. This isn't the cloaking... Actually, is it like the cloaking in Warcraft 2? I know they were entirely invisible. Mages had an invisibility spell in Warcraft 2. And they didn't show up at all for the enemy. But did it, like, make your mage look kind of cloaky and in the shadows if you threw invisibility on him? I don't think so. I don't think it did. If I remember correctly, it just gave him the status icon next to his face that he was invisible, right? Like Bloodlust, for example. Another base. Loving this. I'm loving this out of Horang. Out-expand. Keep the pressure up. Never slow it down. Do not allow Terran expansions quickly. Not until you have the whole gosh darn map. Look at this. He's taking this one. All he got to do is take this base, and he'll have a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll have 7 bases. He can get an 8th one here. And then, yeah, I mean, that's... I like what we're seeing here from the Protoss. He needs a couple other attacks, though. You can get a little complacent in PvT and just be like, well, I have a lot of bases. I'm keeping the Terran extremely contained, which can be true. But suddenly, the Terran you have contained so carefully... Ooh, I think that Spider-Mine killed more of the vultures than enemies. Can suddenly move out and be extremely scary and have +2 attack, and then you hate your life. Alright, Horang2 going for it, y'all. He is deep in Terran territory here. The SCV is getting pulled to try to defend against the oncoming onslaught. Arbiter in the sky. I can fly twice as high. Getting some beautiful psionic storms down, too. And again, this is not a win the game style push out of Horang2. It is an attempt to whittle down the army count, especially the siege tanks. I'm not sure that went particularly well for the Protoss, but you gotta go for it, man. You can't be so timid that you never try in this matchup. And if you can do it when your enemy is on siege and trying to move across the map, that is all the better. Right now. Like right now, right? You jump on this. That's why the spider mines are covering vision over that area. They know the Dragoons aren't here yet. High Templar just hanging out. We'll storm something when we have energy to do so, I guess. Or we could merge to be an Archon. I don't know. Whatever you're into, man. Okay, man, that's cool. High Templar are sniped as they are priority targets. Trying to make something happen here, but it's low ground siege tanks and a choke, and I don't... Yeah, no. Horang does not like that at all. Pretty decent stuff happening, but what the heck? Come back, production tab. How did I even get rid of the production tab? Sorry. It's back now, though. There's Arbiters and Science Vessels, and is there anything surprising? No. Not right now, but maybe later. Who knows? Ooh, big attack. Oh, trying to get a surround on these Dragoons, but they're stutter stepping for their lives here before those tanks set up. Oh, one guy loses his life, but everybody else makes it out safely. Don't be like Sam. Don't be like Sam. I don't even know who was over here. I'm gonna guess Zealots, since they didn't leave behind corpses. Because, you know, Zealots that die get transported out and then crushed and smooshed into Dragoon bodies. Maybe not crushed, but definitely smooshed into Dragoon bodies. It's the truth, man. It is the truth. Storm going down. Beautiful storm. Uh-oh. We're a little trapped in here, guys. I don't know if we're getting out. Oh, he recalls them out. Okay, over here. Oh, from a defensive position to a beautiful takedown of base position. Not a big fan of recalls being used into the main base of the Terran. It doesn't seem to work out as much as the Terrans want it to. Man, 322 upgrades at 19 minutes is insanely good, too. But attacking expansions with recalls is a lot more effective. Yeah, he just wiped every trace of Terran off the face of this expansion, and SCVs are coming back to the sign of the Carnage to die, to join their friends. Another recall in the main base. Remember when I was like, recalls in the main base never do anything? I might have said never, but maybe it's just a rarely style of a thing here. Meanwhile, Light decides, all right, enough of this. Enough of these recall shenanigans. I'm getting up here, and I'm going to kill you right now. I have scary 2-2 tanks. This base got killed by siege tanks on the low ground, which is always a concern for siege tanks on the low ground on that particular base. A lot of supply depots have died, so yeah, you didn't kill all the SCVs in this base because there aren't many, but it's a pretty solid supply block here for Light right now. 145 and 118 available. These tanks wandering up again, high ground, taking down this Nexus, setting up in range of a cannon's not ideal, but also that cannon is dead. So never mind, everything's totally cool. The natural base dies for the Protoss. The third base goes down for the Protoss. Probes are killing a 9-kill siege tank at the moment, but he unsieges and says, now you're all trapped in here with me. Wow, okay, this is turning into some abject chaos at the moment. RJB replays again do not disappoint. Okay, so the tanks do not manage to take down this whatever base this is for Horang2. The response of the Protoss is enough. It's 156 to 125 supply. Light is not technically supply blocked right now, but could be soon. It's only one. It's only one supply that he's not supply blocked. It's not ideal. Did we lose the observatory? It must have been over here at the natural base. He's replacing the observatory, which again, key component to winning this game. If you don't have observers, you're probably going to lose. Light is having to build 7 supply depots at once. That's 700 resources that he can't use on units. He wants to make units, but he needs to make supply depots first. I love this. It's the magic of supply blocking your opponent. Oof. 186 to 123 supply. Horang2 is smelling blood. He's got the 322 upgrades. The mech is sitting here at 3-2 with +3 armor plating on the way. Dragoons trying to figure out, okay, how do we do this? Can we retake this base? Can we retake this base? There's a vulture there. We're going to take this one. There's new fresh mineral patches there. And this one never died, which is a huge friggin' deal. Light is technically on 1 base mining right now, I'm realizing. Actually, no, this one just finished. So this is a new mining base. Important to have. That's why there's tanks here on the high ground, including a science vessel. Maybe for EMPing future Arbiter attempts, because the Arbiter attempts have been pretty good here from Horang2 today. Ah, Terran music. I won't sully it. Yeah, Horang2 expanding up this left side. Not retaking the third. It's probably not. It's barely worth the mineral patches that are there. If the game gets desperate enough, he might, or he just might long distance mine. This base too, actually, not really worth it. There you go. That explains why we're not retaking those bases. It's just math. Replacing the Arbiter Tribunal, because that was definitely the natural base when it went down. And it's a little bit quiet for how chaotic the game was there for a little bit. EMP. Yeah, caught that. Caught you. Oh, missed? I mean, you might as well throw it down now. Okay, that one connected. No, it didn't. Really? Oh, man. All right, big old Zealot recall in the house. With, again, the 322 upgrades makes them so hard to kill and so annoying to kill as well. A lot of spider mines getting laid down. Better, quicker response here from Light this time. Yeah, this should honestly be cleaned up faster than last time. Although, I don't know. Storm on the siege tanks. Great storm in this little choke area. Another storm would be amazing, High Templar, but you don't have the energy for that. You're just going to wander in here and die. Yeah, this does get cleaned up. Single Archon. Takes down a missile turret. Engagement coming in to try to take down this base, this high ground base of Light. Is there enough Terran here to defend it? The Terran music is playing strongly and proudly. And it seems like there may be. The reinforcing tanks are coming up. They got the full upgrades. Good storm. Another beautiful psionic storm going down. Downtown. Does chase the Protoss out of there. It's 150 to 158 supply. The Terran is up. He's got this base mining, this base kind of mining, this base mining. Protoss on 4 bases of income right now, looking pretty healthy. But down in overall supply. Oh, this attack's pretty scary. Good storm, though. Good use of storm. Siege tank heading from the south to the north. Here we go, man. Going for it. Zealots, Dragoons trying to get on top of these guys. There's just too many siege tanks, though, I feel like. But the storms, the great equalizer, in general. But too much mech. Just too much. And coming up here again might just be a situation where the Protoss loses their main base. It's not a situation they're unfamiliar with, mind you. This seems to happen in any game that goes longer than about 25 minutes in PvT, is the Terran just wanders up here, kills all the production facilities, and that's why we have backup production at our home away from home, you know, 5th, 6th, 7th base. Actually not pushing in there at all. More interested in maybe defending what he has. Here is Light, which I find an interesting choice. 126 to 124 supply. It feels pretty even, y'all. I mean, the tank count is heavy. Not sure the Dragoon count is heavy enough. There's not... how many do we think we have on the map right now? I see 3. 4. Siege and up. If he can take these 2 bases down, I think Light has this. I'm not... It's an if. It's an if situation here. I love this base being taken by Light too here at the 3 o'clock. Adding some more Goliaths into the mix than we've seen, I think, for the last little bit of the game. Wanders up, gets a couple storms off, largely whiffs with it, and oof, turns himself into an Archon just in time. Nice observer snipe there, too. Again, Protoss explosions are so nice with the real-time lighting on. I know I asked your opinions about this last week, and I got some mixed results. So I don't know. I might keep it on. Maybe if the Protoss is involved, I keep it on, but if it's Zerg, Terran, or a non-Protoss matchup, I won't. I don't know. It's hard. It's a hard question. One of the hard questions I have had to come and face in my StarCraft casting. Defensive Matrix. Not really sure that was necessary to keep this tank alive, but maybe it was. Why not? Yeah. Terran music playing strong. Meanwhile, this must have been a recall, or just wander in here. Either way, this base gets recalled again, and the command center dies again. But this Nexus is taking direct tank fire. These guys are sieging up in range of tanks, but again, doesn't matter. Or in range of cannons, rather. Doesn't matter, cannons are dead. Alright, so Horang2 maybe getting some work done here. Wiping out a base, but also losing a Nexus. Man, this game is tight. Losing 2 Nexuses pretty quickly. And then these poor probes have to try to get out of here while taking tank fire the whole time. Some of them will escape, which is nice. And another base of Lights is under siege, but there seem to be enough tanks here defending it to keep it alive, at least for the time being. Yeah, my money, I think, is on Light at this point. He's got this income. He's got this income. He did lose this one, but he knocked the Protoss back to 2 base. And a 2-basing Protoss against a 2-basing Terran is just not going to go well in the long run for the Protoss. Archon taking some tank fire, but, you know, 4 kills on that guy. Actually helping to take down siege tanks. Big swings, man. Archons hit hard. These probes are actually doing some long-distance mining. They could rebuild that Nexus. There are no tanks on that low ground anymore. I don't know how long that will be the case. I'm not sure if Light's going to show up there or not, but seems maybe possible that he would. Another Zealot attack over here on the right side. The 3 o'clock base does get attacked. And full evacuation there, as there was no defense as far as I'm aware of. Oh, there's not enough defense here either. Did you leave enough at home? And a recall right on top of the army, sitting in front of his attempts at these new 2 bases on the left side. And by new bases, I mean not new bases, because they've been there a while, but they are newer than the old ones. That's for sure. The Arbiter actually providing... There is no science vessel here. Scans, but there are the scans, yes. Oh, they killed everything. Horang2 getting some big-time swings and hits on Light, killing a lot of SCVs. It's 45 to 45, though. This command center is fleeing and on fire. May burn down here momentarily. We'll have to wait and see. Trying to come up this ramp is a dangerous thing, but, you know, dropship snipe is always nice. Killing dropships is a good feeling. Man, the storm placement from Horang2 has been beautiful today. It has been some of the best storm placements I've seen in PvTs. Super impressed by it. This has got to be a recall, right? Why are you wandering in here if you don't have a recall? Okay, bye. I'm gonna pull back to my friends. Thank you very much. So 1 base mining here from Light. 2 bases for the Protoss. Has not retaken this one that he lost. Spider Mine's getting cleared out. It's been a while since Horang2 has really been able to do that. Landing command center here at this southern base once more. I don't know. This is tight. This is tenuous. Is that another recall sound? It was another recall sound. And once again, this base gets recalled. And that's going to be all that she wrote for this base again for the 3rd time today. Absolutely insane plays here today out of these recalls. Nuts stuff. Wow. I mean, on the power of the recalls and of the storms, this is going to be a Protoss win. I feel like it's not over yet. I don't want to caster curse it or anything. But my goodness. The number of bases that have gone down, the siege tanks are doing their best to do their big, scary siege tanky things, firing directly on this one of the 2 remaining sources of income for Horang2. Also, all these probes are stacked up here. This has got to be at least half the probes remaining for Horang2. He's retreating with them, but they got to get out of here sooner rather than later, man. Yeah, this base is toast. We've knocked the Protoss down to 1 base. This is not a super healthy mineral field at all. We do not have much going on by way of minerals in the situation. An army coming down from the north. The reinforcements available from the main base are insanely good at the moment. 8 zealots being produced as well. Trying to retake this base, but there's literally an Arbiter sitting here, and a Harbinger of Doom. Just being like, what up? You can't expand here. I'll just recall again. Do I have the resources? No, I don't have the energy for that. But, you know, maybe I do. You don't know. 151 to 106 supply. Suddenly, the Protoss is way up. Way up in supply right now. Holy smoke-sarama. What an insanely good game this is. The Protoss finding a bit of a transferring SCV situation. That's never good. That is never good for the SCVs when they get caught in a Dragoon Congo line like that. Both players losing workers immensely right now. 42 to 43 total workers. Oh my gosh. Absolutely insane plays right now. Getting on the cursed base again. The cursed base is going to die for the 4th time today unless the Terran meching army can save it. I'm not entirely sure if this is possible, ladies and gentlemen. The defensive matrix is up, and it does clear out the incoming and the aggressive Terrans. rather, Protoss scum here, keeping this base alive. It is the one source of income that exists for the Terran right now. Light. Wait, just kidding. He has this one too. Never mind. It's fine. Horang2 breaking out. This, oh, this is just going to get an epic tag. It's been such a good back and forth. I don't even care who wins. I'm going to epic tag this thing. It has been an insanely, insanely good PvT from both sides of the map. Oh, second new source of income forced to lift off. It's not feeling good. It's not feeling good if you're a Terran right now. He's got a lot of siege tanks, but he's down 139 to 80 total supply. The Protoss is reestablishing bases that have previously died. He's retaking this one on the left side, the one right up to the north as well. Clearing out spider mines and general areas. Doing his best with that to try to keep the streets clean. Another science vessel in production here too. Triumphant Terran music again. Trying to take this base on the right side, give himself a second source of income. A second base would be worth its weight in gold right now, but he recognizes he can't defend it against the onslaught. That is 5 Dragoons with 2 more on the way and maybe even more heading over that direction. Yeah, I don't see a path forward here for Light. He's trying to get that second base. Gosh, they even came up here and just sniped it. Are you kidding right now? Is that dead? That's dead. I mean, Light can save it, but I think it's dead. Absolutely insane. I mean, this game has been out of this world. It's been so good. Thank you again, RJB. Be sure to check him out. RJB TV. Smart guy, passionate about StarCraft. 163 to 96 supply. The Terran is almost at 100 supply right now. Holy smokes. But 160 is a big number. Recall in the main. Ah, the production for the Terran's in a lot of trouble. And look at this. Light says, I can't. No, forget it. Let's not worry about this. We're going to head up. We're going to kill these 3 sources of income for Horang2. We're going to win this game. We're going to float our barracks out and try to keep them alive, I guess. Maybe don't chase. Why are you chasing so hard? Go back. Yeah, pull back. Go wipe this out. Wipe this out. And this can stay because there's no income here anyway. Yeah, like I said, this game might get desperate enough to where players are taking bases where there's not a lot of resources left. A lot of zealots coming in. Good storm on the tanks, and the vultures. Good storms again. The storm placement is just too good today. Defensive Matrix keeps this guy alive, however. Tanks firing on the northern base. The 2 sources of income for Horang2 are in a lot of trouble right now. Academy, done. Effectively, the main base of the Terran is toast. Are you kidding me? Is this working for Light? He just recalled a ton of stuff over here to wipe out the siege tanks that were directly threatening this Nexus. Is this another recall attempt or a stasis? Stasis. Stasis attempt. EMP tossed down on the Arbiter. A bit of a desperate situation for both players, but Horang2 coming down against a largely stasis siege tank army. Defensive Matrix is up. Gonna buy some time here. Siege tanks from the backline firing. Zealots coming from the left side base, though. Catching a surprise, and that might be it for Light. Oh, that's brutal. The Zealots from everywhere. The surprise Zealot flank attack. Really making all the difference there. He's waiting around. Make sure these tanks don't get out of this. It's only 2 tanks, but they can make all the difference in a game like this one. He's actually got this base back. He's on 2 bases of income. And the Protoss is really only on 1. Dude. And actually, there's a bank for Light, too. What are his barracks? Did he just recall? He just recalled on this base again, you guys. Like, I wish I could sound more excited, but oh my gosh, there's been so much of this. This is a cursed base. It just is. I mean, these two bases have both been recalled, I feel like, 100 times, which is not accurate. This one has not been recalled as much, but nah. 30 total supply here from Light. If his barracks were landed and building things, that would be nice. Some of them are. He's just building them in the middle of the map. This is his new home now. He lives here. The Protoss doesn't really have much to roll with either at the moment, if we're being entirely honest. But he does have 32 probes on 2 bases of income. The 1 base of income here for Light does not seem ample. Is he able to maybe re-expand over to the right side? I don't know. Oh, the home away from home has been partially discovered. Goodbye this factory. Goodbye maybe these factories too. Spider Mines. Okay, Spider Mines getting hits. Yes. Helping clear out Dragoons. Is the dream alive for Light? I don't see it, but maybe. Oh, the 4 Arbiters, though. That just drains all the hope from you. Doesn't seeing 4 Arbiters on the other side of the map as a Terran be like, oh, everything I have is going to get stasis into the ground. What is even the use? Missile turret guy. He's ready. He's ready for it. Because guess what? Here comes the storm. Yeah, you EMP one of the Arbiters, but there's 3 more, governor. Goodbye, everything, and that's your good game. Light taps out, and Horang2 is your winner in 41 minutes and 36 seconds. What an absolutely sick game. Holy smokes. What an absolutely incredibly good PvT. Like I said, epic game here. Well played. Just well played by Horang2. I know that Light is a lot of people's favorite Terran player, as I mentioned previously, but sometimes being everyone's favorite is just not enough to actually get the win. Horang2 was everywhere today. He lost so many Nexuses and so many probes. He had 32 probes at the end of the game. He lost 1 base, 2 base, 3 base, 4 base, 5 base. He lost 5 Nexuses today. This one was under fire as well. Light on the other side lost his main, lost his natural, lost these bases a couple times each, lost this base a couple times. It was just a base bloodbath here today is what it was. But in the end, just able to keep more income coming in. Sometimes it's all just about the money in StarCraft. It's just having more money coming in, having some beautiful recalls and stasises, having the upgrades that he did, and just being willing to trade army for tanks. The tank army never really got to that big, huge, scary number. And that's largely in thanks to how Horang2 was playing this thing. So good Protoss win. Woo! Amazing. 41 minutes. 301,000 points for Light. 333,000 for Horang2. Did outproduce the Protoss, but like I said, cost efficiency can work out for the Protoss if they do it right. Structures raised 43 to 85. 85 Terran buildings raised today is a lot. And then resources. Way more gas mined, way more minerals mined, and way more spent. Just out-zerged him. Out-zerged the Terran. Made his tanks be worth less because he was willing to throw away units to kill him. Incredible. The Storm, too. Have I talked about the Storm again yet? The storms, the recalls, the everythings. The everythings. Man. All right, so that right there is gonna be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered and an epic game. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.